Nazi rally in Buenos Aires in 1938. Of the spring of 1938, 20,000 Nazi supporters attended a day of unity in Luna Park Stadium in Argentina to celebrate the annexation of Austria. This photo is not just a documentation of a political rally, but a symbol of how visual propaganda controlled the masses and built a cult of power. Malcolm X holding an M1 Carbine. Life magazine published this photo of Malcolm X holding an M1 Carbine in March 1964, after he received numerous death threats by the Nation of Islam for exposing Elijah Muhammad for having children with underage girls. 2 enslaved children for sale in New Orleans, Isaac and Rosa, circa 1863. Photographs of emancipated children were sold to raise money for the education of freed enslaved people in New Orleans. The children featured in this photograph drew attention to the fact that slavery was not solely a matter of color. If a child's mother was an enslaved person, then he or she was enslaved as well. Muhammad Ali flirts with future wife Belinda Boyd. After his divorce from Roy, Ali was quoted saying that his next wife would be a young woman around 17 or 18, one that I can raise to my own way of thinking. He then married 17 years old Belinda. Josef Mengele, one of the most evil people in history. Josef Mengele, the Nazi doctor at Auschwitz, was nicknamed the Angel of Death for deciding who would live or die at the camp's gates. He carried out horrific experiments on twins, disabled people, and other prisoners through blood transfusions, surgeries without anesthesia, and lethal injections. Thousands perished from his medical torture, making him one of the most brutal war criminals of World War II. A visual document of apartheid, a family photo taken in 1989, South Africa. This photo is not just an ordinary family portrait, but a visual document of apartheid, illustrating the social injustice. It reveals how systemic racism shaped even the private spaces of family homes. The black woman in the picture symbolizes the millions of domestic workers who were not treated as equals, but as members of a lower class in their own country. Black drinking from a whites-only water. Cecil Williams drinking from a whites-only water fountain in 1956. He was an avid photographer of civil rights, injustice, and an early pioneer to hold up a mirror to discrimination, segregation, and inequality. The first black women to study in an all-white school. This photo became a symbol of the civil rights movement, showing the courage of a child standing against systemic racism. Ruby Bridges later grew up to be a civil rights activist, and her story was immortalized in books, films, and Norman Rockwell's famous 1964 painting, The Problem We All Live With. She is still alive today and continues to speak about education, tolerance, and social justice. The Black Panthers launched free breakfast programs across the U.S. At the time, many African American communities faced severe poverty and hunger. The U.S. government did not provide free school meals, So the Black Panthers stepped in to feed thousands of children every morning before school. The program not only fought child hunger, but also highlighted racial and economic inequality in America. It became so impactful that it pressured the U.S. government to expand its own free school lunch programs nationwide. The last public execution by guillotine, June 17, 1939, at Versailles, France. The last public guillotining in France was of Eugene Weidman, who was convicted of 6 murders. He was beheaded on the 17th of June, 1939, outside the prison Saint-Pierre, Rue André Mignot 5 at Versailles, which is now the Tribunal Judiciaire de Versailles. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.